Tonight's theme is hits of the 80s and 90s. This, to me, was just a lot of fun to pick out music for these two eras. There was a purpose for each of the ones that I picked, and not only were they ones that I liked, or some of the ones that students liked, but some of them were pretty significant pieces that were very popular and produced some very iconic singers, bands, and people of that era. I remember in the 80s, my biggest memory was it was the first time I got to go to Thailand. My mom is from Thailand, and so in 1986, I got to go, and I remember I got my first Duran Duran album. How many of you remember Duran Duran? Simon Le Bon. Anyway, the 80s produced a lot of great music. It was a very interesting time for dress, for fashion, big hair, lots of accessories, guys with their members-only jackets. Oh, come on, you know you wore them, guys. And just gelled their hair. It was just a great time, especially musically it was. Out of the 80s came Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston, and unfortunately, they have left us now, but they may have left us now, but at least we can still listen to their music and hear their voices. We've got the J. Giles Band that we're performing today, and how many of you realize that J. Giles is not the lead singer of J. Giles Band? Yeah, it's who? Peter Wolf. Peter Wolf is the lead singer, so very interesting. Of course, Europe. Joey Tempest had the prettiest hair I'd ever seen in my life. I was so jealous of his hair, because look, I've got Asian hair, it's not meant to curl, so that wasn't going to happen. And then of course we have Michael Jackson, and we have Aerosmith with Run DMC. The funny story about these two, Run DMC and Aerosmith, when Paul Rubens, Rick Rubens wanted to put these guys together to do an album, and both groups were like, that's the dumbest thing I have ever heard. It ended up selling millions of copies. So putting infusing rap and rock and roll together, that was really awesome. And of course, Whitney Houston with How Will I Know. I mean, what woman didn't sing to that? That was just so catchy. You know, it was just really catchy. But the reason why I ended with Nirvana is because Nirvana, they came out in the 90s, 92. That was a big deal because suddenly the 80s were over. All those hair metal bands, bye-bye. It was Nirvana. And then suddenly the 80s were gone, and in came the 90s with the grunge scene. So, of course, that's why we're ending with Smells Like Teen Spirit, because it was basically the end of the 80s when they came up. All right, at this time, I would like to introduce our repertory and chamber orchestra, and our concert mistress tonight is Miss Jasmine Roberts.